Qur'an translation from Ali Ünal. Audio prepared by Respect Graduate School. Surah 17. Bani Israel, the Israelites, verse 1. All glorified is he who took his servant for a journey by night from the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque, the environs of which we have blessed, so that we might show him some of our signs, of the truths concerning our divinity and lordship. Surely he is the all-hearing, the all-seeing. Verse 2. We granted Moses the book and made it a guidance for the children of Israel, commanding them, take, apart from me, no guardian, one to rely on and to whom affairs should be entrusted. Verse 3. They were among the descendants of those whom we carried in the ark with Noah. He surely was a servant greatly thankful. Verse 4. We decreed in the book for the children of Israel as a consequence of their ingratitude and disobedience to the book. You will most certainly cause corruption and disorder in the land twice, and, elated with extreme arrogance, you will act with great insolence. Verse 5. Hence, when the time of the first of the two came, we roused and sent against you some servants of ours of great might, chosen by us to punish you. And they ravaged the land, searching the innermost parts of your homes. That was a threat to be executed. Verse 6. Then we gave the turn back to you to prevail over them, and strengthened you with resources and children, and made you the more numerous in human power than before. Verse 7. If you do good, aware that God is seeing you, you do good to your own selves, and if you do evil, it is likewise to your own selves. And so, when the time for the fulfillment of the second decree comes, we rouse new enemies against you, to disgrace you utterly, and to enter the temple as the others entered it before, and to destroy entirely all that they conquer. Verse 8. It is hoped that your Lord may show mercy to you, but if you return to your sins, we will return to our punishment. And we have made hell a prison for the unbelievers. Verse 9. This Qur'an surely guides, in all matters, to that which is most just and right, and gives the believers who do good, righteous deeds the glad tidings that for them there is a great reward. Verse 10. And that for those who do not believe in the hereafter, for them we have prepared a painful punishment. Verse 11. Yet human, through his actions as well as his words, prays and calls for evil, just as he prays and calls for good. Human is prone to be hasty. Verse 12. As in the life of humankind, days and nights alternate in the world also. We have made the night and the day two signs, manifesting the truth of God's power, knowledge, and absolute sovereignty, and his grace on you. We have obscured the sign of the night, made it dark, and we have made the sign of the day illuminating, therefore a means for you to see, that you may seek bounty from your Lord, and that you may know the computation of time, the years, and the reckoning. We set out all things in clear detail. Verse 13. Every human being's fate we have fastened around his neck, and we will bring forth for him on the day of resurrection a book which he will see spread open. Verse 14. Read your book. Your own self suffices you this day as a reckoner against you. Verse 15. Whoever takes the right way takes it for the good of his soul only, and whoever goes astray but to its harm only. No soul, as bearer of burden, is made to bear the burden of another. We would never punish a person or community for the wrong they have done, until we have sent a messenger to give counsel and warning. Verse 16. And when we finally will to destroy a township that has deserved destruction, we leave those of its people lost in the pursuit of pleasures to their own devices, and so they transgress all limits therein. In consequence, the word of punishment is justified against it, and so we annihilate it, reducing it to nothing. Verse 17. How many a generation have we thus destroyed after Noah? Your Lord suffices as one all-aware and all-seeing of the sins of his servants. Verse 18. Whoever wishes for only the immediate gains of this transitory life, we readily grant thereof as much as we please to whomever we will. Thereafter we consign him to hell, wherein he will roast, disgraced, and disowned. Verse 19. But whoever wishes for the hereafter and strives for it as it should be striven for, being a believer, then for those who do so, their striving shall be recognized with thanks and reward. Verse 20. Each do we supply, these ones as well as those ones, out of the free gifts of your Lord in the world. The gift of your Lord is not confined. Verse 21. See how we have made some of them excel others in worldly gifts and in virtues. Yet the hereafter will certainly be greater in ranks and greater in excellence. Verse 22. Do not set up another deity besides God, or you will be sitting disgraced and forsaken. Verse 23. Your Lord has decreed that you worship none but him alone and treat parents with the best of kindness. Should one of them or both attain old age in your lifetime, do not say, "Ugh," to them as an indication of complaint or impatience, nor push them away, and always address them in gracious words. Verse 24. Lower to them the wing of humility out of mercy, and say, My Lord, have mercy on them, even as they cared for me in childhood. Verse 25. Your Lord best knows what is in your souls, in respect of all matters, including what you think of your parents. If you are righteous in your thoughts and deeds, then surely he is all forgiving to those who turn to him in humble contrition. Verse 26. And give his due to the relative, as well as the destitute and the wayfarer, and do not squander your wealth senselessly. Verse 27. Surely squanderers are ever brothers of Satan's, and Satan is ever ungrateful to his Lord. Verse 28. But if you must, turn away from those who are in need, because you are yourself in need, and, seeking mercy from your Lord in hopeful expectation, then, at least, speak to them gently and well-meaning. Verse 29. Do not keep your hand bound to your neck in niggardliness, nor stretch it without any restraint, or else you will be left sitting reproached and denuded. Verse 30. Surely your Lord God enlarges provision for whom he wills, and straightens it for whom he wills. Indeed, he is fully aware of his servants and sees them well. Verse 31. Do not kill your children for fear of poverty. It is we who provide for them as well as for you. Killing them is surely a grave sin. Verse 32. Do not draw near to any unlawful sexual intercourse. Surely it is a shameful, indecent thing, and an evil way, leading to individual and social corruption. Verse 33. Do not kill any soul, which God has made forbidden, except in just cause. If anyone has been killed wrongfully and intentionally, we have given his heir, as defender of his rights, the authority to claim retaliation or damages, or to forgive outright. But let him, the heir, not exceed the legitimate bounds in retaliatory killing. Indeed, he has been helped, already and sufficiently, by the provisions and procedures of the law. Verse 34. And do not draw near to the property of the orphan, except in the best way, such as to improve and increase it, until he comes of age and is strong, and fulfill the covenant. The covenant is surely subject to questioning. On the day of judgment, you will be held accountable for your covenant. Verse 35. Give full measure when you measure, and weigh with a true, accurate balance. That is what is good, and to do so is best in the long term. Verse 36. Do not follow that of which you have no knowledge, whether it is good or bad, and refrain from groundless assertions and conjectures. Surely the hearing, the sight, and the heart, each of these is subject to questioning about it. You are answerable and will be called to account for each of these on the day of judgment. Verse 37. Do not strut about the earth in haughty self-conceit, for you can never split the earth, no matter how hard you stamp your foot, nor can you stretch to the mountains in height, no matter how strenuously you seek to impress. Verse 38. The evil of all this is abhorrent in the sight of your Lord. Verse 39. All this is part of the wisdom which your Lord has revealed to you, O messenger. As the source and basis of all wisdom, do not set up with God another deity, or you will be cast into hell, blamed and disowned. Verse 40. Has then your Lord distinguished you, O unbelievers, by preferring for you sons, and taken for himself from among the angels' daughters? Most certainly you utter an awful, horrendous saying. Verse 41. We have set out the truths in diverse ways in this Qur'an, so that they may reflect and be mindful, but all this increases them, the unbelievers, only in their aversion to truth. Verse 42. Say, if there were, as they assert, deities apart from him, surely they would seek a way to the master of the supreme throne, the dominion of the creation. Verse 43. All glorified is he, and absolutely exalted, immeasurably high, above all that they say. Verse 44. The seven heavens and the earth, and whoever is therein, glorify him. There is nothing that does not glorify him with his praise, proclaiming that he alone is God, without peer or partner, and all praise belongs to him exclusively. But you cannot comprehend their glorification. Surely he is, despite what his servants have deserved from him, all clement, all forgiving. Verse 45. When you recite the Qur'an, we place an invisible veil between you and those who do not believe in the hereafter, and who, by making themselves deaf and blind to the creation's praise of its creator, make themselves incapable of such belief. Verse 46. And over their hearts we lay veils, made from their ill intention, wrongdoing, and arrogance, that prevent them from grasping it, the Qur'an, and in their ears, heaviness. When you make mention of your Lord in the Qur'an as the One, the unique divine being, they turn their backs in aversion. Verse 47. We know best what they wish to hear when they listen to you, and that, when they are secluded among themselves, these wrongdoers say to one another, You are following but a man bewitched. Verse 48. See what strange comparisons they invent about you. They have altogether strayed and are now unable to find a way to the truth. Verse 49. And they say, What? Is it when we have already become bones and particles of dust? Is it then that we will be raised as a new creation? Verse 50. Say, whether you have become stone or iron. Verse 51. Or any other created substance which, in your minds, is greater in its resistance to being given life. Then they will say, Who will bring us back to life? Say, He who originated you in the first instance with a unique individuality. They will shake their heads at you in amazement and derision and say, When will that be? Say, It may well be soon. Verse 52. On the day when he will call you and you will answer with words of his praise, thinking that you have stayed on the earth but a little while. Verse 53. And say to my servants that they should always speak, even when disputing with others, that which is the best. Satan is ever ready to sow discord among them. For Satan indeed is a manifest enemy for humankind. Verse 54. Your Lord knows you best and what you deserve. If he so wills, he has mercy on you, which is sheer grace. And if he so wills, he punishes you, which is pure justice. We have not sent you, O messenger, to be a guardian over them, responsible for them. You're only a warner. Verse 55. And your Lord knows best all that are in the heavens and on the earth. Assuredly, we have exalted some of the prophets above others, some in an absolute sense and others in some respects. And to David, we granted the Psalms. Verse 56. Say, call upon those, the angels, human beings, jinn, whom you pretend are deities apart from him. They have no power to remove any affliction from you, nor can they make any changes in your conditions. Verse 57. Those whom they invoke themselves seek a means to approach their Lord, each trying to be nearer to him, hoping for his mercy and fearing his punishment. The punishment of your Lord is surely to be feared and avoided. Verse 58. There is not a township, but that we will have destroyed it before the day of resurrection, as a consequence of its people's way of life, and in accordance with the laws we have established for the lives of communities, or punished it with a severe punishment, such as dissension, corruption, and foreign invasion. All this is written down in the eternal book. Verse 59. Nothing stops us from sending the miracles they demand as evidence in support of the messenger's claim to be appointed by God, except that many among the former generations rejected them as false and were destroyed. We had given the Thamud, the she-camel, as a visible sign, miracle, but they did wrong in respect of her. We do not send such signs except to warn and to make them aware of possible destruction. Verse 60. And, recall, when we said to you, by way of a warning, that your Lord encompasses all humankind with his knowledge and power, we did not make the vision that we showed you during the ascension, but as a trial for humankind to mend their ways, and, in the same way we mentioned, in the Qur'an, the accursed tree, the tree in hell absolutely outside the sphere of God's mercy. And we warn them, exhorting them to be fearful and amend, but it increases them only in great insolence and rebellion. Verse 61. And, recall another instance of arrogance and insubordination, when we said to the angels, prostrate yourselves before Adam. They prostrated themselves, but Iblis did not. He said, shall I prostrate myself before one whom you created of clay? Verse 62. He said, do you see this that you have honored above me? Indeed, if you grant me respite till the day of resurrection, I will certainly bring his descendants under my sway, all but a few. Verse 63. He, God, said, go your way. Whoever of them follows you, surely hell will be the recompense of you all, a recompense most ample. Verse 64. Arouse with your seductive voice whomever you can from among them, and rally against them with your cavalry and foot soldiers, and be their partner in their wealth and children, and make promises to them. And Satan promises them nothing but deceit. Verse 65. But as for my sincere, devoted servants, you will have no authority over them, and your Lord suffices as protecting guardian, as one on whom to rely and to whom all affairs are referred. Verse 66. Your Lord, O humankind, is he who causes the ships to sail for you through the sea, that you may seek of his bounty. Surely he is ever compassionate towards you. Verse 67. When distress afflicts you in the sea, all that you invoke as powers to help you, fail you save him only. Yet, when he brings you safe to land, you turn away from him. Indeed, human is ever ungrateful. Verse 68. Do you then feel secure that he will not cause a part of the land to fall on you and engulf you, or send a sandstorm upon you? Then you will not find a protecting guardian for yourselves. Verse 69. Or do you feel secure that he will not send you back to the sea another time, and send against you a raging tempest to drown you because you disbelieve in ingratitude? Then you find none to uphold you against us. Verse 70. Assuredly we have honored the children of Adam with many distinctions. We have sustained their traveling on the land and the sea, and provided for them their sustenance out of pure, wholesome things, and preferred them above many of those whom we have created with particular preferment. Verse 71. On the day when we will call every human community with its leader, whoever has followed a leader towards true faith and righteousness and accountability in the hereafter is given his record of his life in his right hand. Those will read their book with contentment, and they will not be wronged by even so much as a tiny hair. Verse 72. Whoever is blind in this world, who has followed no guidance towards true faith and righteousness and accountability in the hereafter, will be blind in the hereafter, and even further astray from the way that leads to divine forgiveness and eternal contentment. Verse 73. They have indeed sought to tempt you, O messenger, away from what we have revealed to you, so that you may fabricate something else against us. And then, had you done so, they would have taken you as a trusted friend. Verse 74. And had we not made you wholly firm in what we reveal to you, you might just have inclined to them a little bit. Verse 75. In that case, we would have made you taste double punishment in life and double punishment after death, and you would have found none to help you against us. Verse 76. Indeed, they have sought to estrange you from the land of your birth and drive you from it. But then, they themselves will not remain there after you, except a little while. Verse 77. That has been our way with all those whom we sent as messengers before you. You will never find any alteration in our way. Verse 78. Establish the prayer in conformity with its conditions, from the declining of the sun to the darkness of the night, and be ever observant of the recitation of the Qur'an at dawn, the dawn prayer. Surely the recitation of the Qur'an at dawn is witnessed by the angels and the whole creation awakening to a new day. Verse 79. And in some part of the night, rise from sleep and observe vigil therein, through prayer and recital of the Qur'an, as additional worship for you. Your Lord may well raise you to a glorious, praised station of nearness to Him, and give you leave to intercede with Him, as He wills, on behalf of His servants in the hereafter. Verse 80. And say, My Lord, cause me to enter in a manner sincere and faithful to the truth, and cause me to exit in a manner sincere and faithful to the truth, and grant me from your presence a sustaining authority. Verse 81. And say, The truth has come, and falsehood has vanished. Surely falsehood is ever bound to vanish by its very nature. Verse 82. We are sending down the Qur'an in parts. It is a healing and a mercy for the believers, though for the wrongdoers, it increases them only in ruin. Verse 83. When we favor an ungrateful one, with comfort and contentment, he draws aside and arrogantly keeps aloof from any thought of us. But when evil touches him, he is ever despairing. Verse 84. Say, everyone acts according to his own character, made up of his creed, worldview, and disposition. And your Lord knows best who is better guided in his way. Verse 85. They ask you about the Spirit. Say, the Spirit is of my Lord's command and of knowledge. You have been granted only a little. Verse 86. You are not, as the unbelievers allege, the author of the Qur'an. It is only we who reveal it entirely. If we willed, we could certainly take away what we have revealed to you by effacing it from the hearts and memory of you and those who have memorized it, and from any written record of it. Then you would find for yourself no protecting guardian against us to help you to claim or recover it. Verse 87. But you are one favored with a great special mercy from your Lord. His favor on you is great indeed. Verse 88. Say, surely if humankind and jinn were to come together to produce the like of this Qur'an, they will never be able to produce the like of it, though they backed one another up with help and support. Verse 89. Assuredly, we have set out in diverse ways for humankind. In this Qur'an, all kinds of parables and comparisons to help them understand the truth. Yet most people refuse to accept anything save unbelief. Verse 90. They say, we will not believe in you, O messenger, until you cause a spring to gush forth for us from this land, which is short of water. Verse 91. Or you have a garden of date palms and grapes, and cause rivers to gush forth in their midst abundantly. Verse 92. Or you cause the heaven to fall upon us in pieces, as you have claimed could happen, or bring God and the angels as a warrant, before our eyes proving the truth of your message. Verse 93. Or you have a house of gold, or you ascend to the heaven. But we will even then not believe in your ascension, until you bring down upon us, from heaven, a book that we can read. Say, O messenger, all glorified is my Lord, in that he is absolutely above what you conceive of him. Am I anything but a mortal, sent as a messenger? Verse 94. And what has kept people from believing when guidance has come to them? Except that they said, has God sent a mortal man as the messenger? Verse 95. Say, if angels had been walking about on earth as their abode, we would surely have sent down upon them an angel from heaven as messenger. Verse 96. Say, God suffices for a witness between me and you. Surely he is fully aware of his servants, and sees them well. Verse 97. Whoever God guides, then he it is who is rightly guided, and whoever he leads astray, you shall find for them, apart from him, no guardians who might own and help them. We will raise to life and gather them together on the day of resurrection, prone upon their faces, blind, dumb, and deaf. Their refuge is hell. Every time it seems to them that its torment is abating because of their being inured to it. We increase them in suffering in its blazing flame. Verse 98. That will be their recompense, because they disbelieved in our revelations and signs, manifesting the truth, and said, what is it when we have already become bones and particles of dust? Is it then that we will be raised as a new creation? Verse 99. Do they never consider that God, who has created the heavens and the earth, is able to create them anew in their own likeness? And he has set a term for them, about which there is no doubt. Yet the wrongdoers refuse to accept anything save unbelief. Verse 100. Say, if you possess the treasures of my Lord's mercy, still you would surely hold them back for fear of spending in God's cause and as subsistence for the needy. Indeed, human is ever grudging. Verse 101. We certainly granted to Moses 9 clear signs, miracles. So ask the children of Israel what happened despite these miracles. When he came to them and asked the Pharaoh to let the children of Israel leave Egypt with him, and even after he showed to them these miracles, the Pharaoh said to him, "Certainly, O Moses, I certainly believe that you are one bewitched." Verse 102, Moses said, "You know for certain that no one but the Lord of the heavens and the earth has sent down these signs as openings to discernment and insight. And certainly, O Pharaoh, I certainly believe you are one doomed to loss." Verse 103. Then the Pharaoh intended to terrify them from the land of Egypt and destroy them. But we caused him and all who were with him to drown. Verse 104. And after that, we said to the children of Israel, "Dwell now securely in the land, which God has decreed for you and commanded you to enter. But when the time for the fulfillment of the last decree comes, we will bring you as a mixed crowd, gathered from disparate nations." Verse 105. It is with the truth that we have sent it down, this Qur'an, embodying the truth and forever invulnerable to falsehood. And it is with the truth that it has come down. We have not sent you but as a bearer of glad tidings, of prosperity in return for faith and righteousness, and a warner against the evil consequences of misguidance. Verse 106. And it is a Qur'an that we set forth in parts with clarity, so that you may recite and convey it to people with deliberation in order that they can absorb it. And we send it down in successive revelations, each perfectly suited to its occasion and its wider purpose. Verse 107. Say, believe in it or do not believe. Surely those who were endowed before it with knowledge of the truth and divine revelation and teachings, and still follow that knowledge, fall down on their faces in prostration when the Qur'an is recited to them. Verse 108. They say, all glorified is our Lord. Surely the promise of our Lord is ever bound to be fulfilled. Verse 109. And they fall down on their faces weeping, and it increases them in humility and a feeling of awe. Verse 110. Say, call upon him as Allah, God, or call upon him as Ar-Rahman, the All-Merciful. By whichever name you call upon him, to him belong the all-beautiful names. And offer your prayer neither in too loud a voice, nor in a voice too low, but follow a middle course. Verse 111. And say, all praise and gratitude are for God, who has neither taken to him a child, nor has a partner in the sovereignty, the dominion and ownership of the whole creation, nor, being exalted above all want or insufficiency, has he a guardian against neediness and weakness, and exalt him with his immeasurable greatness. Surah 18. Al-Kahf, the Cave. Verse 1. All praise and gratitude are for God, who has sent down on his servant the book, and has put no crookedness in it, so that it is free from contradiction and inconsistency, and anything offensive to truth and righteousness. Verse 2. He has made it unerringly straight, to warn of a stern punishment from him, and give the believers who do good, righteous deeds the glad tidings that for them is an excellent reward. Paradise. Verse 3. Abiding therein forever. Verse 4. And to warn those who say, God has taken to him a child. Verse 5. Of that they have no knowledge on which to base such an assertion, nor did their forefathers. Dreadful as a word is that assertion, coming out of their mouths. Indeed, they speak nothing but falsehood. Verse 6. Yet it may be that you, O Muhammad, will torment yourself to death with grief, following after them, if they do not believe in this message. Verse 7. We have surely made whatever is on the earth as an ornament for it, appealing to humanity, so that we may try them by demonstrating it to themselves, which of them is best in conduct. Verse 8. Yet we surely reduce whatever is on it to a barren dust heap, and will do so when the term of trial ends. Verse 9. Or do you reckon the people of the cave and the inscription as something strange among our signs, manifesting the truth and too extraordinary to believe? Verse 10. Events came to the point when the young men took refuge in the cave and said, Our Lord, grant us mercy from your presence, and arrange for us in our affair what is right and good. Verse 11. Then we drew a veil over their ears, causing them to go into a deep sleep in the cave for a number of years. Verse 12. Then we raised them up, and dividing into two groups, they discussed how long they had remained in that state. We willed to make known which of the two groups were more consciousness of time with the events in it, and therefore better in computing for what period they had remained in this state. Verse 13. It is we who relate to you their exemplary story with truth. They were young men who believed in their Lord, and we increased them in guidance, so they adhered to the truth more faithfully. Verse 14. And we strengthened their hearts, and a time came when they rose up against association of partners with God and other injustices in the society. And they proclaimed, Our Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and we never invoke any deity apart from him. If we did so, we would certainly have uttered an enormity, a monstrous unbelief. Verse 15. These people of ours have adopted deities other than him, although they cannot bring any clear authority for them. And who is more in the wrong than he who fabricates falsehood against God? Verse 16. Events developed to the point that they had to leave their society. They discussed what they should do and concluded, And now that you have withdrawn yourselves from them and all that they worship instead of God, then seek refuge in the cave. Your Lord will lay out for you of his mercy, and he will arrange for you in your affair a comfort and support. Verse 17. They entered the cave and fell into a deep sleep. You would have seen the sun when it rose, moving away from their cave to the right, and when it set, turning away from them to the left, while they lay in a spacious hollow in the cave. That was one of God's signs. Whoever God guides, he alone is rightly guided, and whoever he leads astray, you will never be able to find for him any guardian to guide him to the right way. Verse 18. You would have thought them awake, though they were asleep. We caused them to turn over to the right and the left, and their dog lay outstretching its 2 forelegs on the threshold. Had you come upon them unprepared, you would certainly have turned away from them in flight, and would certainly have been filled with awe of them. Verse 19. Such being their state, we raised them up, so they began to ask one another. One who spoke said, How long have you stayed? They, some among them, answered, We have stayed a day, or part of a day. The other said, Your Lord knows better how long you have stayed. Now we must deal with our hunger. So, send one of you to the city with this coin of yours. Let him see what food is most pure there, and so lawful, and bring a supply from it. But let him behave with utmost care and guarded courtesy, and by no means make anyone aware of you. Verse 20. Indeed, if they should find you out, they will stone you to death, or turn you back to their way of belief and life by force. then you will never attain prosperity ever hereafter. Verse 21. And in this way, we disclose them to the people, so that they might know that the promise of God is true, and that there can be no doubt about the coming of the last hour. When the people, disputed about their affair, they said, "Build a structure over them, to hide them and leave them to their rest. Their Lord knows best about them." Those who prevailed in the long disputed matter said, "We will most certainly build a place of worship over them." Verse 22. Instead of reflecting on the lesson to be learnt from the people of the cave, people concentrate their interest on the details of the event. Some will say they were 3, the dog being the 4th among them. And some will say they were 5, the dog being the 6th, all guessing at random at something related to the unseen. Still others will say they were 7, the dog being the 8th. Say, O messenger, my Lord knows their number better. It is but few that know the truth about them. So do not argue about them, being content with what is obvious to you through revelation. Nor ask any of them, who argue even among themselves, to give you an opinion about them. Verse 23. And do not say about anything you intend, "I will do it tomorrow." Verse 24. Without adding, "if God wills." And remember and mention him straight away, should you forget to do so when expressing an intention for the future. And say, "I hope that my Lord will guide me to what is nearer to right conduct than this forgetfulness of mine." Verse 25. And they stayed in their cave 300 solar years, and added 9 for lunar years. Verse 26. Say, God knows better how long they stayed. To him belongs absolute dominion and full knowledge of the unseen of the heavens and the earth. How perfect his seeing and how perfect his hearing. And they have apart from him no guardian, and he allots to no one a share in his absolute authority. Verse 27. Recite and teach that which has been revealed to you from the book of your Lord. There is none who can change his words, whatever the unbelievers may say or desire, and you will never find, apart from him, any refuge. Verse 28. And keep yourself patient, along with those who invoke their Lord morning and evening, seeking his face, his eternal good pleasure, and the meeting with him in the hereafter. And do not let your eyes pass beyond them, desiring the beauties of the life of this world, by the participation of those of leading positions among people in your assemblies. And pay no heed to the desires of him whose heart we have made unmindful of our remembrance, who follows his lusts and fancies, and whose affair exceeds all bounds of right and decency. Verse 29. And say, the truth from your Lord has come in this Qur'an. Then, whoever wills to believe, let him believe, and whoever wills to disbelieve, let him disbelieve. Surely, we have prepared for the wrongdoers a fire, its billowing folds encompassing them. If they beg for water, they will be given water like molten metal that scalds their faces. How dreadful a drink, and how evil a couch to rest on. Verse 30. Surely, for those who believe and do good righteous deeds, we do not leave to waste the reward of any who do good deeds, aware that God is seeing them. Verse 31. Those are they for whom are gardens of perpetual bliss through which rivers flow, adorned therein with armbands of gold, and they will dress in green garments of fine silk and rich brocade. They recline there upon thrones. How excellent a reward, how lovely a couch to rest on. Verse 32. Set forth to them the parable of 2 men. For one of them we had made 2 vineyards, and surrounded both with date palms, and placed between them a field of grain. Verse 33. Each of the two vineyards yielded its produce without failing in anything. We had also caused a stream to gush forth between the two. Verse 34. So the man had fruit in abundance. And one day he said to his companion, while he was conversing with him, I am more than you in wealth and mightier in manpower, children and those working for me. Verse 35. He went into his vineyard while wronging himself in his vain conceit. He said, I do not think that this will ever perish. Verse 36. Nor do I think that the last hour will ever come. Even if it should come, and I am brought back to my Lord, I will surely find something even better than this as a resort. Verse 37. His companion said to him, while he was arguing with him, Do you, expressing such ingratitude, disbelieve in him who created you from earth, then out of a mere drop of seminal fluid, then fashioned you into a perfect man? Verse 38. But, for my part, I believe that he is God, my Lord, and I do not associate with my Lord any partner. Verse 39. If only you had said, on entering your vineyard, whatever God wills, surely has and surely will come to pass. There is no strength to achieve anything, save with God. Though you see me with less wealth and offspring than you, I have no complaint at all, for it is God who does as he wills, and he is all compassionate toward his servants. Verse 40. It may well be that my Lord will give me something better than your vineyard, and send on it, your vineyard, a calamity from heaven, so that it becomes a barren waste. Verse 41. Or its water comes to sink so deep into the ground that you will never be able to seek it out. Verse 42. And, as it happened, his produce was encompassed by ruin, and he set to wringing his hands with grief over all that he had spent on it, when it was now all ruined on its trellises, and he was saying, Oh, would that I had never associated anyone with my Lord as partner. Verse 43. And he had, apart from God, none, no troop of men, to help him, nor could he be of any help to himself. Verse 44. For thus it is, all power to protect belongs to God, the true. He is the best for reward and the best for the outcome. Verse 45. And strike to them a parable of the present worldly life. It is like water that we send down from the sky, and the vegetation of the earth mingles with it, flourishing abundantly. Then it turns into dry stubble, which the winds scatter about. God is absolutely able to do all things. Verse 46. Wealth and children are an adornment of the present worldly life, but the good, righteous deeds, based on faith and which endure, are better in the sight of your Lord in bringing reward and better to aspire for. Verse 47. Bear in mind, the day when we set the mountains in motion, and you see the earth denuded, and we raise to life and gather them together. All those who are content with themselves, deluded by the charms of the world, leaving out none of them. Verse 48. They are arrayed before your Lord, whom they disregarded in the world, all lined up, without discrimination of wealth or status, as in the world, and they are told, Now indeed, you have come to us, divested of all worldly things, as we created you in the first instance, though you used to suppose that we had not appointed for you a meeting with us. Verse 49. And the record of everyone's deeds is set in place, and you will see the disbelieving criminals filled with dread because of what is in it, and they will say, Alas, woe is ours. What is this record? It leaves out nothing, be it small or great, but it is accounted. They have found all that they did confronting them in the forms thereof particular to the hereafter. And your Lord wrongs no one. verse 50. And recall, when we said to the angels, prostrate before Adam, and they all prostrated, but Iblis did not. He was of the jinn, created before humankind, from smokeless, scorching fire, and transgressed against his Lord's command. Will you then take him and his offspring for guardians to rely on and refer your affairs to, rather than me, when they are an enemy to you? How evil in exchange for the wrongdoers. Verse 51. I did not make them, Iblis and his offspring, witnesses to the creation of the heavens and the earth, nor of the creation of their own selves, nor did I, being absolutely beyond need, ever take as helpers those that lead humankind astray. Verse 52. The day will come when he will say, now call upon all those whom you allege to be my partners. Thereupon they will invoke them, but they will not respond to them, and we will place between them an unbridgeable gulf. Verse 53. And the disbelieving criminals will see the fire and know certainly that they are bound to fall into it, and they will find no way of escape from it. Verse 54. Assuredly, we have set out in diverse ways for humankind. In this Qur'an, all kinds of parables and comparisons to help them understand the truth. But human is, above all else, given to contention. Verse 55. What is there to keep people from believing when guidance has come to them, and from imploring their Lord for forgiveness, unless it be that they follow the way of the sinful people of olden times, as if wishing for their fate to come upon them, or the punishment, which they did not believe in, but asked their prophet in derision to bring down upon them, come and confront them. Then indeed they would have no opportunity to implore forgiveness and hope for relief. Verse 56. We send the messengers not as bearers of punishment, but as bearers of glad tidings, of prosperity in return for faith and righteousness, and warners against the evil consequences of misguidance. Whereas those who disbelieve contend on the basis of falsehood in order to refute the truth thereby. And they take my revelations and that, the punishment, of which they are warned in mockery. Verse 57. Who is greater in doing wrong than he who has been reminded of his Lord's revelations and signs, yet turns away from them and forgets all that his hands have forwarded to the reckoning in the future life? Surely over their hearts we have laid veils, made up of their ill intention, wrongdoing, and arrogance, which cause them to lose the ability to believe, so that they do not grasp the Qur'an with faith and understanding, and in their ears a heaviness, so they do not hear the Qur'an. And if you call them to guidance, they will never even then accept guidance. Verse 58. Your Lord is the all-forgiving, having infinite mercy. If he were to take them immediately to task for what they have earned, surely he would hasten on the punishment for them. But for them is an appointed time limit, beyond which they will never find an escape from God's punishment. Verse 59. And that was the case with all those townships that we destroyed when they were given to wrong. We had surely appointed a time fixed for their destruction. Verse 60. Now relate to them, O messenger, the experience of Moses. When Moses said to his young attendant, I will not give up journeying until I reach the junction of the two seas, though I may march on for ages. Verse 61. When they reached the junction of the two seas, they forgot their fish, and it took its way amazingly through the sea as in an underground channel. Verse 62. So when they had passed further on, Moses said to his attendant, Bring us our morning meal. Assuredly we have endured much fatigue in this journey of ours. Verse 63. He, the servant, said, Would you believe it? When we betook ourselves to that rock for a rest, I forgot about our cooked fish, and none but Satan caused me to forget to mention it to you, and it took its way into the sea in an amazing way. Verse 64. He, Moses, said, "That is what we have been seeking." So they retraced their footsteps. Verse 65. And they found there one of our servants, to whom we had granted a mercy as a grace from us and taught a special knowledge from our presence. Verse 66. Moses said to him, "May I follow you so that you may teach me something of the knowledge of guidance which you have been taught?" Verse 67. He said, "You will never be able to have patience with being in my company." Verse 68. How could you be patient about something that you have never encompassed in your knowledge? Verse 69. He, Moses, said, "You will find me patient, if God so wills and allows me to, and I will not disobey you in anything." Verses 70. Al-Qadr explained, "Well, if you go with me, do not ask me concerning anything that I may do, until I myself make mention of it to you." Verse 71. So they set forth until, when they embarked on the boat, he, Al-Qadr, made a hole in it. He, Moses, said, "Have you made a hole in it in order to drown its people who would be using it? You have certainly done an awful thing." Verse 72. He said, "Did I not tell you that you would never be able to bear patiently with my company?" Verse 73. He, Moses, said, "Do not take me to task, because I forgot, and do not overburden me in my affair, in what you ask of me." Verse 74. So they went on until, when they met a young boy, he, Al-Qadr, killed him. Moses said, "Have you killed an innocent soul, not in lawful retaliation, but without his having killed anyone? Assuredly you have done a horrible thing."